virgin to a single mom in survival mode. This woman here says, you men play games. I'm wasting time. Straight up.
What I really wish is that for you men to be honest with women from the beginning. I've been battling this for years, crying for years, because I went from a virgin at almost 30 years old to a single mother. And it hurts me because I've been silent for too long. And all I hear people say is they disrespect women and mothers all the time. But they don't never talk about how men lie and deceive women and they don't even want to be with them. I wish I would just be honest with women before the trauma begins. So I went from a virgin to almost 30 years old to a single mom to be in trauma, to be in survival mode. That's what obsessed me the most. Like I was a good girl my whole life, loyal to people that deceive me the most. And that's what messes me up the most. Like I didn't even have a choice whether or not to be in survival mode.
How did you not have a choice? Is there something I don't know? I'm wondering, based on the information that she's given us, how did she not have a choice?
But you men don't care. You just move on to the next. You don't care who you put in survival mode. And y'all not trying to elevate at all. You're not trying to be with any woman. You're not trying to be with the woman that you really want to be with. Because you play games. You all play games for generations to come.
So one thing is true. Yes, men are more vocal about calling out women who choose to be single mothers or who make irresponsible decisions and end up in that situation. This is true. That's something the men have been more vocal about in the last 5 years or so. I will say this, though. She skipped a step there. How do you go from virgin to single mom? What happened to wife?
Drink the coffee. It'll make you feel better.
What happened to wife? You skipped. You went from virgin to single mom. That is crazy. The step that's supposed to come before that is marriage. This is why the encouragement and the saying goes, marry before you carry. And in addition to that, this is another great example of why I believe we need to go back to women vetting the men that they're interested in with men in their lives. Because typically, if you leave the modern woman to her own judgment when it comes to men, it always seems like they make the wrong decision. Top comment here says, good girls always finish last, ma'am. Here's somebody else. She responded back to that and says, yeah, I'm about to change. That's crazy. Somebody else who says, made it to 40, no kids. I required marriage and a house. No marriage, no house, no babies. So you required marriage and a house in order to get married to somebody? Somebody else who says, I hate that this happened to you. Here's another person who says, I'm 37 with no kids. I refuse to give these men a child. Another comment here says, 1, you're still a good girl. 2, you are still worthy. 3, God will restore everything you lost plus more. 5, heal. She skipped 4. Okay. 5, heal yourself and release this so you can step into what God truly has for you. And yes, there is life and hope past anybody making a mistake. Some mistakes are very difficult. You know, the reality is that the women who champion single motherhood and claim that you don't need marriage and you don't need fathers, they typically don't speak for the vast majority of single moms who, once they're on their own trying to survive, they're living close to or below the poverty line. FathersHaveRights.com is the sponsor of this channel, where our expert attorney put it plainly. Every marriage ends. Yes, every marriage ends. It ends in death or it ends in divorce. That's why people have a will, life insurance, and that's why you should have a prenup. It's not about expecting the worst. It's about being responsible enough to prepare just in case. And if you're engaged, proposing, or soon to be married, click the link pinned to the top of the comment section to take the first step. Don't wait. Join the hundreds of future husbands protecting their marriages the right way. Someone else who says, we have to stop thinking it won't happen to us. Why is there no mention here of marriage? No one here is talking about marriage. This lady here says, religion holds us back in so many ways. You will persevere. So I guess my question here is, how did religion affect the situation she's in? Remove religion out of it. She decides to be in the streets, gets pregnant, and now she has 3 to 4 kids and is a single mother. Is that a better situation? I don't get it. If anything, if she's complaining about only having one child and being a single mom, struggling, then what if she was wilding out from the start or didn't have any of those values? Somebody else who says, "Man, pick yourself up. Don't need no one but God." Here's somebody else who added, "Your story sounds exactly like mine. It's been 3 decades and I'm still hurt. Still hurt."
This is exactly what it looks like when you are in religion. And like she even called herself a good girl. When you are sold a dream, when you get it, typically when you are in, especially Abrahamic religions, you are sold this idea of waiting out until marriage, purity. If the less touched that you are, the more desirable you'll be. You'll be a man's prize pick. You are taught so much. You are conditioned in a very specific way. And that's why I say religion breeds pygmies. It breeds women who have low self esteem, who have no sense of identity, who really value men. They love to have men lord over them. They have no sense of sovereignty. They have no desire to have validation from within. What they do is typically motivated by men. This woman was deceived. She said she entered into the situation a virgin, left with a baby, left with heartache,
And no ring. And no ring.
and left pretty much with her whole psychology screwed. Because imagine if you're sitting here and your outlook on life is, if I do things the right way, if I adjust myself for God, and if I do what I need to do, then I'm going to get a good man. He's gonna be a man of God. He's going to take care of me. I'm going to have my child with him. I'm a virgin. I've done things the right way. I'm doing things the right way now.
You were a virgin when you met him, but you didn't wait until marriage. And I'm not saying that I did. But the whole point of marry before you carry is because a man who's intentional about staying with you and helping you take care of that child is most likely to make the decision of marriage. Are there some men who still sometimes leave? Yes, but very unlikely, right? If you look at divorce and initiations, very unlikely.
And then to have your world flipped upside down, that is going to shift your reality. There's going to be some psychological damage, not only being done in the present, but in the end, because now your view of religion is probably going to change. Your view of God is going to change. Your view of men is going to change. Nobody equips religious women with the truth. You sell them a dream and then you say, here, practice this. And you already teach them to subdue themselves to a God who rewards their purity. And that's just stupid. Women have sovereignty over their body. Their bodies belong to them. So when they already come into this religion saying, my body's not my own, it doesn't belong to me, it makes it easier to enter into these marriages with the idea of, this is his body. He can do what he wants with it. This is what it is. And you're conditioning them to subdue themselves under male leadership. Religion, I have never seen, especially Abrahamic religions, empower women to be sovereign, to be partners. No, they condition women.
You're a helpmate, ma'am. And where is your man?
To be servants.
Where's your husband?
As if men are worthy of being served. We are just as smart, if not more.
Don't make me do it. We've got we definitely have a feminist here who despises all things Christian.
Something we're also not talking about is how, in order for civilization and humanity to move forward and to see healthy relationships, to see.
You heard the baby in the background. So here we have a single mom. The problem is chicks who talk like this are in a bad situation themselves. It's never like their lives reflect a better scenario. No, they're typically going through the exact same thing.
Healthy communities that where men and women can coexist, it requires men to unlearn their patriarchal programming. You have to unlearn the bullshit that they taught you when they said that you were superior to women, that women were supposed to be in submission to you, that we were not smart, that we were not capable or competent. You're going to have to unlearn that. So you're going to have to take your ego and step on it. Take your ego, step on it. Get over it. Let it go. Once you get past that, you break that barrier.
By the way, I love you. Sometimes you can hear my son in the background, right? But to sit here and be like, look at how your life turned out, or you're in the same place, if not worse, more confused, is crazy.
Of ego, then you can be teachable and you can be a student and then be taught by reality. Read the books, listen to the lectures, listen to the podcast, listen to the shit that's real, read the articles, read the peer review articles, stuff like that, so that you can program yourself with the truth. Because right now you've been programmed with some bullshit. So you got to deprogram and you got to reprogram. And then you have to implement the reality via this new programming. You're going to have to implement the knowledge and stuff that you've learned from being reprogrammed. You're going to have to do that. But if y'all are not willing to abandon your ego and abandon the bullshit that religion and society and the patriarchy taught you, we ain't going nowhere with you, bro. You're getting left behind. And some of your male counterparts are doing the work. It's not even like, you know what I'm saying? It's not even like it's not happening with some men. I've met and seen some great men who think like they think so beautifully. It's almost as if they were untouched by the patriarchy because they unlearned that shit. However,
these are her gay best friends.
Misogyny still be slipping out sometimes. So it's like, we ain't forget. Nonetheless, your male counterparts are doing the work. So your ass finna get left behind, and it really is just finna be you.
Oh no, what are we gonna do?
Okay, so I just saw a video from Deontay Kyle, who said we need to stop bullying people. We need to stop like joning and cracking jokes on each other because it's.
And the reality is, if you, whether you man or woman, if you're not self-actualizing, and y'all think I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to women and religion and choosing men and being a pick-me religious girl. But babe, y'all didn't see how I tore into Kelly Steele on that Laterra's podcast months ago?
All right. We are out of here. Let's check out some comments underneath this post. Top commenter says, this is why you have to live for you and do you. I promise y'all won't regret it. That's what the serpent told Eve.
I just heard a story about how a woman waited until she was 30 years old to sleep with a man, and the first man that she slept with made her a single mother. That's what we need to start doing to men. That's what we need to start doing to men. That is what we need to start doing to men. I am so tired of these. I feel so bad for this girl. So bad for this girl. This is why men that say that we should listen to their advice are full of bullshit. There are women far and wide listening to the advice given to them by men saying that they want a pure woman. They want an untouched woman. This woman waited 30 years to be pure, thinking that she did the right thing, doing the exact thing that a man and several men have told women what to do. Be pure. Don't sleep with anybody. We want you to have a body count of 0, and that will guarantee you a good man. That will guarantee that you don't become a single mother. That will guarantee that you don't get cheated on. This is why I don't listen to men. I don't want to hear shit they gotta say, because they are never giving women advice for the woman's best interest. They are selling dreams to women to make your life harder and humiliate you. This girl was just fine on her own. This girl was doing just fine, not dealing with no man for real and not sleeping with no man. And her life got ruined the second that she let a man in. They give women this advice because they want to constantly sell a dream to women so that you give them a chance, so that you make yourselves available to them. This woman went in with all the right intentions and did the exact same thing that men are always telling women to do. She not ran through. She not a 304. She not out here selling it. She not out here gold digging. She not out here home wrecking. She was out here doing everything that she was supposed to do just for a man to come into her life and still baby mama her. These men are out to ruin the lives of women. Quit listening to them. Their standards are a bunch of bullshit. Their standards are created to put them in a predicament where you're centering them, where you're living their life thinking about what it is that you should be doing to get this good man that exists. Don't know good man exists. Don't know good man exists. If a man was able to find a woman that stayed a virgin until 30 years old and made her a baby mama, what would make you different? What would make me different? You got a woman out here that's following the formula, this ever so godly, perfect formula to get the perfect man, so you don't get deceived and lied to, because that's why they're doing it. That's why they're giving you this advice, so that way you can take their advice and it all blow up in your face. And now you got to put the pieces of your life together, back together. This woman is now in survival mode. She is now in survival mode because she took the advice from a man. This is why I'm going to keep telling y'all over and over and again. Stop listening to these men. They don't care about you. They're not giving you advice to help you. They're not giving you advice to find these good men. They're giving you advice to make your life harder. And they want to play a role in that. They want to be an active participant in seeing you miserable. They want to be an active participant to seeing your downfall. They take pride in that shit. Do not deal with these motherfuckers. Do not listen to them. Women need to be more angry about stuff like this. Women need to be more angry about stuff like this. Because the level of anger that I would have towards a man that I gave my virginity up to and he left me be a single mother, he would be in the ground with no pulse. And I'm so serious. I don't think I could ever allow somebody to betray me to that level. Because she was intentional. She was intentional. And then they wonder why women are out here saying, I'm going to go be a hoe. I'm going to go sell it. Because the good girls, the girls that are over here being pure, the girls that are over here doing it the way that men are telling them to do it, they're not winning either. They're not winning either. And men wonder why women are turning into the villains. They wonder why women are out here with their hand out. Because this is what you get when you don't ask for something. This is what you get when you want to lead with love and compassion and empathy and understanding. You getting cheated on, you getting baby mama, you being left a single mother, you being left to fend for yourself. This is what these men have to offer you when you follow their advice.
Somebody else, she says, baby girl just settled. She didn't really vet old boy. She most likely went with whom picked her at the time for his own reasons. Vet these men, take your time. In time, they will show who they are by their actions. This is tough to read.
Y'all seen the video of the woman who said she was a virgin until she was about 30 and then she met somebody. He said he wanted to have kids with her. He wanted to be with her. And now she's a single mom. That she doesn't understand why men do this. They come on here and they say, I want to be with you. I want to have this family. And then poof, they're gone. She said that this has been an extremely traumatic experience for her. She also does say that she has been a good girl. She's been loyal her entire life. Like she said, she has made it to almost 30 being a virgin. Here are my thoughts on this. If you meet someone and you are like, I don't know if I want to have kids, but your partner wants to have kids, you don't have kids. Because we already know as women, a lot of the times we are going to be the ones that are going to be taking care of said kids, right? I'm not saying men are not a part of it. I'm not saying that they are not in the children's lives. Please be very clear. I had a great father. I'm just saying a lot of the child rearing falls on the women. So because of that, we need to be fully understanding that we are probably going to be the ones that are going to be taking care of the kid most times, okay? So because of that, you need to have kids only and if you are ready and the amount that you can take by yourself. If you can only take care of one kid, but your partner wants to have two, you have one child. If you want to have 0 kids and your partner wants to have 1, you have 0 kids and go find somebody else. Okay. And she also mentioned something where she's like, you know, I've always been a good girl. I've always been like so loyal. Well, because I think you should be a good person, but we need to remove this whole, oh, I'm a good girl. When it comes to your body and bearing kids, that is where you need to be selfish. That is where you need to take a stand and be like, I'm not going to be a good girl. I don't care if you want to have 2 kids. I want to have 1 child. So that's what I'm going to have. If you are mad at it, then I'm sorry, I'm not the one for you. And like, you can't just try to put somebody else's needs above yours when it comes to your body and you raising kids.
Somebody else who says, her spirit is completely broken, and I understand. Thank God I don't have kids. Somebody else who says, and you can get married and you still get left mistreated the whole time. Just complaints after complaints after complaints. If she looks like a raging feminist, then you got to be careful. As far as this chick goes, to think that she would have been in a better place if she would have been having sex from the very beginning and been at risk at being a single mother is also crazy. Hey guys, as always, I appreciate you for checking out yet another episode of the Coffee Pod. To my currently engaged or soon to be married men, if you need a prenup and would like a guide that shows you how to get a solid and legally binding prenuptial agreement, hit the link into the top of the comment section and access your guide at fathershaverights.com today.